All right, let's talk about something that affects millions of men, but for some reason we just don't talk about it enough. Prostate health, especially after you hit 60. Today, we're going to break down 5 simple, science-backed habits from urologist Dr. Eduardo Vasconcelos that can seriously change your quality of life.
Wow, that quote right there, it just hits you, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of the problem. This is a conversation that gets shoved aside. Maybe it feels a little embarrassing, or it's just chalked up to being a normal part of getting older. But it doesn't have to be.
So, here's what we're going to do. First, we'll dig into why this conversation is so important. Then, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of what's happening with the prostate as we age. After that, we'll jump into the good stuff, the habits, and we'll wrap it all up with how you can take back control starting, right now.
And look, what we're about to get into, this isn't just some random advice. This is real science that's already helped thousands of guys out there. This is absolutely essential stuff for any man over 60, or really for anyone who has a man over 60 in their life.
Okay, so what's really going on here? I mean, what's happening inside the body? Before we can even talk about the solutions, we gotta get a really clear picture of the problem that so many men face as they get older.
So the fancy medical term is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or just BPH for short. All it really means is that the prostate, which is this little walnut-sized gland just below your bladder, it starts to get bigger. And because the tube you pee through, the urethra, runs right through the middle of it, well, that growth literally puts a squeeze on it, and that's where all the trouble starts.
And you might be wondering, is this just me? Well, take a look at these numbers. This is what's so wild. We're talking more than half of all men in their 50s. And once you're over 70, that number jumps to a staggering 80%. So if this is you, believe me, you are not alone. Not by a long shot.
And the result of that squeezing, oh man, it can totally mess with your life. You get a weak stream, you have that annoying feeling that your bladder is still full even though you just went. It's hard to even get started sometimes. And then there's the big one, the one that just wrecks your sleep, getting up over and over again all night long. And this right here, this brings us to probably the single most important point of this whole thing. The biggest myth out there is that all this is just normal, that it's an unavoidable part of getting old that you just have to put up with. Well, it's not. The science is clear. There are natural things you can do to manage this and even turn things around.
All right, enough about the problem. Let's talk solutions. Let's get into the first couple of habits you can start right away. These are simple things, focused on movement and hydration, and trust me, they can have a huge impact. First up, something we all do every day, drink water. But here's the twist. The secret isn't just about how much water you drink, it's about when you drink it. It's all about being strategic.
So here's the game plan. It's super simple. First, during the day, the morning and afternoon, you hydrate well. Take small sips of water pretty consistently. This stops your urine from getting too concentrated, which can really irritate the bladder. Then, step 2, as evening rolls around, you start to taper off. You just gradually drink less. This gives your body plenty of time to process everything before you hit the hay.
And this isn't just some nice idea. It's backed by real numbers. A big study with over 2,000 men found that this one simple change cut down on those nighttime bathroom trips by up to 41%. Think about that. That is a massive improvement in your sleep, and it costs absolutely nothing to do.
Okay, ready for habit number 2? This one is just as easy, and it's also completely free. It's just a short, light walk after your main meals. And it has a direct, really positive effect on your prostate health.
And the difference it makes is, well, it's huge. A quick walk after you eat helps control your insulin and gets the blood flowing down to your pelvic area, which nourishes the prostate. One study actually showed that just a 15-minute walk after lunch and dinner dropped the risk of severe symptoms by 35%. No gym membership, no special equipment, just a walk.
Okay, so we've covered movement and flow. Now let's switch gears and talk about how we fuel and repair our bodies. We're going to look at nutrition, sexual health, and the incredible, often overlooked power of a good night's sleep.
So, what do you think is the single most effective yet most overlooked habit for prostate health? It's the one that, because of stigma and just feeling awkward, almost nobody ever talks about.
Okay, here it is. Regular sexual activity. And let's be super clear and medical about this. This includes masturbation. This isn't just a lifestyle thing, it's a critical health practice. Think of regular ejaculation like a natural flush for the prostate, clearing out old fluids and cells that can build up.
And if you're thinking, is this for real? Just look at the science. There was a huge study that followed men for 2 decades, and it found that guys who ejaculated 21 or more times a month had a 33% lower risk of developing certain prostate problems. See? This puts it in the right context. It's a health strategy, not something to be embarrassed about.
All right, habit number 4. Let's talk about food, because what you eat can literally be your prostate's first line of defense. Certain foods are packed with compounds that your body can use to fight off inflammation and enlargement.
So here are 3 absolute superheroes for your plate. You've got lycopene, which you find in cooked tomatoes and watermelon. Think of it like a shield for your prostate cells. Then there's zinc from pumpkin seeds and nuts, which helps keep your hormones in balance. And finally, sulforaphane from stuff like broccoli, which helps your body detox. The bottom line, a colorful plate is a powerful plate. And that brings us to our final habit, number 5. And it's one you might not expect: getting good, deep, restorative sleep. It might not seem obviously connected, but sleep is when your body does its most important maintenance work, especially on the hormones that control prostate growth.
I mean, the difference between good sleep and poor sleep for your body it's just night and day. When you're in deep sleep, your body balances hormones, it lowers inflammation, and it repairs tissue. When you don't get that sleep, the whole system goes haywire. Stress hormones spike, inflammation goes up, and your prostate is left in a really vulnerable state.
Okay, so we've laid it all out. The science, the strategies, but now the ball's in your court. This is all about making a conscious choice to say, okay, I'm taking control of my health.
So let's just do a super quick run through of those 5 game changers. 1. Strategic hydration. 2. A light walk after meals. 3. Regular sexual activity. 4. Protective nutrition. And 5. Deep, restorative sleep. Every single one is simple, totally doable, and backed by solid science.
You know, thousands upon thousands of men are suffering in silence, just thinking that this is their new normal. But now you know that's not the truth. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Who do you know? A father, a brother, your partner, a friend? Who needs to hear this message? Because sharing this could be the one thing that changes their life.